Hello, Internet. Welcome to yet another Fellowship of the Tables stream. And I'm going to bring up the chat so that I can see it. So, hi. How's everyone doing?
Oh, so far so good.
All right.
Wonderful.
So, welcome to session 4 of Rise of the Runelords. We are down one kitty cat tonight, unfortunately. Um, for anybody watching who might not know, we are all on a Discord server called Fellowship of the Tables. There's an invite in the Twitch chat for you. There are lots of cool games going on every week. Some D&D, some very much not. And lots of cool people trying all kinds of different things. So stop on by, check it out, and I stream games here Sunday nights and Tuesday nights. And this game in particular is a port of the classic Pathfinder adventure path called Rise of the Runelords, ported to 5th edition rules. And so we are just a few sessions in. I'm working on getting videos up on YouTube. So stay tuned for that. There is also, I mentioned this in the stream on Sunday as well. Definitely check out keep an eye on the Twitter account. I will post that in the chat as well. That is where I will be making announcements if we're off on a particular week or anything. So you can go ahead and give that a follow. New this week also, if you hover over the video stream, you can see there's now integration with D&D Beyond. So you can click on any of our lovely characters here and see their stats and their where they're at. So that is all there. And so I always do have a recap at the beginning of every session. This week, just to mix things up a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and do the recap for you. We picked up last time in the town of Sandpoint, where the party has traveled to check out a new cathedral that has just completed being built. There was a festival in town to celebrate, and much games were had, and lots of fun and good food. However, unfortunately, things took a dramatic turn for the worse, as there was a goblin raid right smack in the middle of all the festivities, and the group sprang to the aid of this town of Sandpoint and killed numerous goblins and helped the town in driving off this raid successfully. The following day, they were asked by Sheriff Hemlock to assist him in checking out a vault in the graveyard that had been apparently vandalized. It was partially open, and they didn't know what was what was going on there. So they went and checked it out, and there were 3 skeletons left behind. It seems to have been connected with a mysterious robe that was left there in the vault. I don't think the party was able to figure out more than that. But once again, the party was victorious in fighting off these skeletons, and now they're trying to figure out what might have happened that led to this goblin attack. And so one lead that they got is that the old cathedral burned down about 5 years ago, and in the process killed the former head cleric, a father. I want to say Father Xantus, but that's the current father. Somebody help me. I'm blanking.
Priesterman.
What's that?
Priesterman?
No, that was not his name. I know this, and I'm just blanking.
I thought Father Xanthus was the new priest.
Father Xantus is the new priest. The priest who died in it was named Izakian Tobin. He and his adopted daughter by the name of Nualia and a number of others as well. Father Tobin was most significant because it was also his vault in the graveyard that was raided, and in fact his body was stolen. So in a bid to try to figure out what try to find out more about his daughter Nualia, who was presumably killed during the fire, but her body was never found. The party went to Turundarak Academy, which is there in town, the school / orphanage, excuse me, where Nualia attended. They were not able to get in and see the headmaster that day, but they were able to schedule a time to see him for the following morning. However, along the way, it seems that one of the prettier young ladies in town took a shine to Othniel, and under the guise of getting him to help her with a rat infestation, made it clear that she had other things on her mind, and unfortunately, that was all cut short by the arrival of her father, who was none too pleased to see his daughter in the arms of this stranger, even if he is a hero of Sandpoint. After all of that, the party returned back to the Rusty Dragon, where their favorite bartender / owner, I'm just gonna be blanking on things all night.
Jerry, I believe.
Miki.
Her last name's Kaijitsu.
Amigo.
Ameko Kaijitsu. It's gonna be one of those nights, guys. I'm telling you. Oof, this is not good. Not good. I got into an argument with her father, Lanjiku, who tried to get her to leave, and when she was not interested, she whacked him over the head with a ladle, and he left in fury. And so I believe that about catches us up. It's right around noontime here in Sandpoint. You all are sitting at the Rusty Dragon, enjoying a fine meal. What would be the conversation going on around the table?
I don't understand, Othniel. Did you or did you not kill the rats?
Well, I didn't kill any rats, but you might say I at least partially took care of the problem.
This is good. I do not know if you insinuating anything, but I have faith in you.
Let's just say I'll be a gentleman and not say anything more.
Where did that terrible captain of the guard? Did he ever resolve his issue?
Let's see.
You
He
talking
had
about Sheriff
smooth.
Hemlock?
Yes, about 6 feet or so, human size, you know. The one that didn't
It's,
defend the town.
oh, that. Oh, yeah, that guy. He was. I think he. Well, evidently he must be kin to this Amico or something, because they had a good old fashioned family Spitfire, and he kind of left with some ladle marks on his head.
Yeah, he deserves as much. Are
At
we
least,
to see
yep.
the
It,
hatchlings today?
the hat. Oh, you mean at the school? We're not going
Yes.
to be able. We're not going to be able to go over there till tomorrow morning. The headmaster's booked for the rest of the day.
Ah, I see. They operate in the mornings. Interesting.
Evidently, that's when they have the most free time available. So, all right then. He sure. Were we able to hear everything that Amico and Longico were saying at each other from where
Yeah,
we
it
were?
was definitely not quiet. There was a section of the conversation that was in some language that you don't know, but I mean the bulk of it, the rest of it you heard. The part you heard it all, and a good deal
Mhm.
of it you was in common.
I'm not.
What was the other language?
Um,
It kind of sounded elvish, but not quite. My first guess would be maybe Sylvan or something like that, but I don't really know that one.
yeah, you don't know the language. TikTok.
Whatever it was, they wanted to make sure no one else heard it, so it must have been either pretty interesting or pretty nasty, or maybe a combination of the two. Alrighty then. So, I guess what do we do now? Do we want to maybe check out those places where they think the goblins came in from? Or do we all still need a little bit of R&R?
We could check out those goblins. God knows this town will need all the help it can get if they attack again.
So according to those guards we talked to, they came in at the in the graveyard area and out by the north gate. I think that's the one where that noble was that we were helping out.
Ah, yes, the one with the dog.
Yeah, that one. Do we want to maybe go see if we can figure out how they were able to breach their way in?
I have my own current hypothesis, but we might as well.
So as I
Well, just
recall, last time, based on both your investigation and talking to the guards, you were able to determine that the goblins came over this wall by the woods here, and then left the same way. And at least so that was one branch of the assault, and then there were also some guards some goblins that just came in through the front gate.
Just came straight through the front gate? Okay. Sorry, my memory's not too good on that. I was a little bit distracted. Okay, then. Where do we want to go from here? Any
So,
suggestions, TikTok?
Well, I'm still thinking about the fire in the old temple, and I'm trying to figure out where they might have kept records.
Well, there's probably either in a library or maybe whoever are the rulers here in the city, maybe they've got a hall of records somewhere. You'd think they'd have something recorded. That'd be worth a try.
Just something in my mind doesn't calculate the right way.
How so?
How do you find one body but not the other in the
I've been
fire?
wondering. Yeah, I've been wondering the same thing.
And refresh my memory. What did they say was the cause of the fire? Was it lightning?
Nobody
I
seems.
don't think I don't think they told us.
Nobody knows.
Well, I guess maybe we should try to find where the Lord High Mayor's office is or find someone who can direct us to where there might be a hall of records. Do you think Kamiko would know?
Possibly wouldn't hurt to ask.
If not, maybe she can point us in the direction of someone who would. All right, so Othniel stands up and he slowly walks over to where Almiko is, making sure that that ladle still isn't flailing around anywhere.
Yeah, no, she went back in the kitchen briefly and then came back out, and she's been handing out handing out drinks from behind the bar.
Quick question at your convenience. I know you're busy.
Oh, of course. Yes, Othniel, how can I help?
We were a little curious about the fire that took out that cathedral some years back. The rebuilding being the cause of all the celebration and stuff. Is there like a library or hall of records that might have some sort of record of everything that happened?
Um, she thinks about that for a minute. You're talking about like the investigation into the fire?
Stuff like that, or just whatever things people had to say about it, about what happened and all that stuff, how it might have started.
Hmm. Uh, well, I mean, I suppose Sheriff Hemlock would be one place to start there. He would know about the official investigation and things like that. There's not really. You could go to the town hall. I don't know that the town hall would have recorded what people say about it. But you could certainly ask.
Okay, That sounds worth a try. Thank you.
Okay. She kind of gives you directions to where the town hall is. I'm gonna start marking some of these on the map for you, so you know. Do you remember what's what?
TikTok not having any, not being real subtle about it, would approach her and say, ask her about her interactions with her father.
Okay. Yeah. What do you say?
You're an adult, yet your father tries to make you leave.
She sighs as you say that. Well, he can be a stubborn old man. I think he means well. He is concerned for my safety. I think more than anything.
Safety from a few goblins, or something more sinister.
Oh, sure. I'm sure it's from the goblins. You think there's something more sinister going on?
No, but I thought maybe there was more to his wanting you to leave. I thought goblin raids were common in this area.
Oh no, we might get one or two goblins here and there, but certainly nothing like what happened the other day. That's not common at all. As for my father, well, he's had a hard time. You have to understand. My mother died some years ago, and it's been really hard on him.
I am sorry.
It's okay. I'm sorry that you had to see that.
Are you gonna be all right?
She she says um she says, "Yeah, I mean, I've got my patrons to see to. I'll keep myself busy and you know, when it gets late at night and I've got nothing else to do, well, she kind of holds up a mug of ale. I'll forget in other ways."
That's certainly one way to do it. That's for sure. And I slowly back away and head back towards the table where Zarxus is.
Okay, as you're, excuse me, as you're coming back to the table, Othniel, Kale looks up and he says, "I'm bored. I'm leaving," and he just skitters out the
Oh,
door.
what? Too late. He's gone. Probably saw
Maybe
something.
he's going to go look for the rats that you did not find.
Well, I have a feeling that he's not going to find any rats there anymore. That's for sure. He probably saw something shiny walk by, and now he's got to go chase after it.
That sounds about right.
So, do we want to do all of the?
So, do we have any leads?
Well, no real Hall of Records per se. That she's said any listing as an investigation would probably be with the sheriff over in the garrison, but they might have something in the town hall, which is conveniently right across the street from the garrison. So we could either just do them one at a time, or we could split it between ourselves for time if we wanted.
I see no need to split up the group, but didn't we already talk to the sheriff about this, or did we only talk to the priest?
As far as the actual fire, I think we only talked to the priest about it. The
Well,
sheriff was more interested in getting us to help out with the vault.
well, then maybe the sheriff is the logical place to go first.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Think that's probably the smartest place for us to start at if he's not too busy.
Yes, I'd love to hear his excuse for it.
The
You're
way
not
I
gonna
see
let
it,
up.
he owes us one.
You're not gonna let up on him, are you, Xarxus?
He let his entire community down. Some hero.
Well, shall we go?
I don't think Xarxus should be the one to talk to him.
Hey, I think it might be better that it's one of us two. Just leave Xarxus kind of in the background, if you know what I mean. Shall we go?
All right.
TikTok is already headed towards the door.
So
Okay.
you head towards the door. As you're walking out, Xarxus, you kind of happen to be in front, and a figure comes in the door and just runs full on smack into you.
What is this? Some smooth
sorry,
skin?
and you see this is Aldrin Foxglove. This is the gentleman that you rescued at the North Gate, who you were actually just talking about. And he says, "Oh, I'm glad I ran into you." And he kind of looks around. I thought there were 4 of you before.
Yeah. One of the others taking care of some personal business, but he'll catch up with us.
You ran into me on purpose.
No, I assure you I didn't.
Hmm.
A figure of speech.
It's one of those smooth skin things.
That's what I figured. What is it, little man?
Little. Wow. He says, "Well, I have not yet had the opportunity to thank you properly for your assistance the other day." And he pulls off of his belt a small pouch and hands it to you, Xarxus. And he says, You all saved my life, and I am much appreciative."
Oh, why, thank you. No reward is necessary, but we can put it to good use. Perhaps even defending this town. And he looks around. I think they might need it.
He nods and he says, "And there's something else too. I would love to invite the 4 of you to join me. There's a forest near here called the Tickwood Forest, and I'm going on a boar hunt there tomorrow. Would you all care to join me? I'd love to hear more of your adventures and well, just get to know the heroes of Sandpoint who saved my life."
About what time would this be starting?
Well, I like to head out at right as at dawn, as soon as the sun's coming up.
We have an appointment in the morning with the headmaster.
Oh, um, well, I I'm sure I can wait a few hours. The boar will still be there, right?
We might be a little bit late, but we could probably join you depending on how things go.
Right. Well, then I'll tell you what. Um, let's meet about 10 o'clock at the Goblin Squash stables. Um, that's where my men have stabled my horse. I assume you all have horses.
Horses. Awful things.
Neil, we've been doing all of our travel in the old-fashioned way by foot.
I don't think that I would make a horse very happy.
Oh well, it simply won't do. I must insist. I will purchase steeds for all of you. You will do you riding will do wonders for you. It's much more civilized.
Don't
Hang
think
on
they
one
make
second.
horses big enough for me.
Hang on one second. I need to switch headphones because they're about to die. Sorry.
He's talking about civilization. He doesn't know anything.
Just relax, Zarxus. He's trying to make a kind gesture towards us.
He does have money.
Okay. Sorry about that. He says, I'm sure we can find a fine warhorse that would be able uh to to carry your he seems like awkwardly unsure of how to say it. Uh someone of your size.
You cannot offend me by my size.
We're typically much bigger than you gnomes. Or humans, I mean. Humans, yes.
Yeah, we're all humans, Zark. We're all humanish. We aren't quite that small. I realize you're a big one compared to some of the rest of us, but
Well, so
we
10,
we will
10 o'clock at the
we can try
stables.
to meet you in the morning. We'll be there as quick as we can.
Wonderful, excellent. I'm looking forward to it. And I will also mark the stables as soon as I find it. Remember where it is. I'll find it. Alright, so you're headed back to the garrison to talk to Sheriff Hemlock. Right?
Yes, we
Yep,
want to have words with him.
That's where we're heading.
I'm sure he will be very excited to see you.
And whatever route we take, I'm gonna make sure that I'm walking on the side of the street opposite of the general store.
Why ever would that be?
Oh, call me a little superstitious.
I'm sure we could take a totally different path.
So
Well,
that
I'm not gonna tell. I'm just gonna do that if we go by it. I'm not gonna necessarily say anything about that.
okay, so there's the stable. You I mean, yeah, the most direct route for you would be to go for you to go over here by the general store and down the main road
down the
here.
street. Yeah, I'll just make sure I'm on the far side of the street.
Okay, fair enough. Um. All right, so you head to the garrison, and Sheriff Hemlock is there. You come in as he's talking to several guards. Seems to be handing out orders.
I kind of hang back until he's kind of looks like he's through ordering everybody around, so we're not interrupting him.
Mm-hmm.
And then when that happens, just say, "Greetings, Sheriff. Wonder if I could have a quick, brief moment of your time."
He says, "Yes, of course. What can I do for you?"
We were just kind of curious about the history of the cathedral, especially dealing with the fire that burned it down. Do you have any like records or accounts of what all happened, like the like how it started and all that jazz?
He says, "Well, we haven't really recorded much about it. Nobody's really sure how it started. It started it seemed to start in the middle of the night, and so by the time we got to it, it's kind of hard to tell. It was kind of hard to tell where it started from."
So nobody has any idea at all what triggered it. Then was there like a lightning storm that night or anything like that? Or
No, it seemed like it was just a freak accident. Yeah, it definitely seemed to start around the church somewhere. But we're not sure. We didn't find like an ignition point. And there were several other buildings that were also consumed as well.
now was the priest and his daughter the only people who died in the blaze?
Oh no, there were a number of people who died that evening. It was really tragic, especially we had just wrapped up another whole series of events. There was
Oh,
uh
really? What
there
kind of events?
well there was this serial murderer in town. That's about all. That's about the only way I can think to refer to him. That was a whole mess too.
Oh, really? Was the fiend ever caught?
He was guy by the name of Jervis Stute. He lived and he kind of beckons out in this direction. Whoops, did not mean to draw.
It's almost too much for Xarxis to bear.
Do we have a spelling on that first name?
Yeah, it's
Jarvis.
Jervis, yeah. He kind of points out to this little island thing out this way, and says, yeah, the old codger lived out on the out there for years and years and years, and we thought he was just a recluse until bodies started stacking up and eventually led us to him.
What was he doing? Was he just fascinated with killing people, or did he have something else in mind, like some necromancy?
It wasn't anything necromantic. Just sadism, I guess. He was cutting and slashing people and taking off their hands and feet, and it was every single murder was just a ghastly scene.
Hmm.
And now,
Almost like he was trying to gather spare parts for something.
I mean, he wasn't taking. He wasn't taking the hands and feet. Well, the the tongues we did find later in his house.
and how many victims did you allow him to take?
Um, he
I
he
slightly
crosses
elbow
his
Xarxus a little.
he crosses his arms and he says, "Now look, we appreciate you all. Your help in this town has been excellent, but I'll thank you not to speak so flippantly about such things. A lot of good people died in the process of trying to find this man."
Yes, that is the loss.
How many victims were there?
He kind of
Let me. I'll rephrase it. That you're aware of.
he kind of holds his gaze on Xarxus for a minute, and then turns back to Othniel. 25. 25
Wow.
victims in over the course of a month, including
Were
the.
were they all of the same type of person
Hmm,
that he?
didn't seem to be. The guy just seemed to be killing whoever he could. Um, the last victim was Sheriff Averton himself. He was the sheriff before me, and he was my mentor. Taught me everything I know. And he just kind of glares at Xarxus, like daring you to make a comment.
So
He's trying to hold back.
was it like it was there wasn't like a pattern of like all men or all women or children or certain races or anything like that? It was basically whatever he could get his hands on,
Seemed
from
to,
what you're saying?
yeah, it seemed to be. He didn't seem to have a preference.
That's bizarre. Usually with some sort of with killings, that kind of stuff going on, usually there's some sort of pattern that they'd follow.
Xerxes turns to Othniel. It may be that there is a pattern, but they just couldn't see it.
Well, with that many bodies, it might be hard to find a pattern. I presume
I
they were
wouldn't.
from different parts of town as well.
Yes, all over town.
I wouldn't want to be a mentor in this town. It seems that you die.
That is an astute observation.
He he says, "Well,
Or, pardon my friend. Sometimes they like to talk before their minds can kick in and tell them otherwise.
yes, I can tell.
Sorry
I
about
can
that.
see that." Um, he says, "Well, apart from those few months, Sandpoint has been a pretty pleasant town up until now."
All right. Dillman's stupid question apartment. Did the kid was he caught before or after the cathedral burnt down?
Oh, before it was about a month before.
Okay.
Once he was caught, did the killings stop?
Oh yes, there was no doubt he was the one who was guilty. We, we found his own eyes and tongue, along with the those of all the other victims, on some horrible altar uh, at his estate, and he was found dead at the base of the altar, having given himself as a final offering um, to whatever vile thing he was worshiping.
No one was able to figure it out.
Some demonic entity, it seems.
Hmm.
Most likely.
So he finished whatever ritual he was performing.
Uh,
If only he had been stopped.
um,
Would a religion check give us a clue as to what possible ritual he could have been doing?
Probably not with just that little bit of information.
We probably need to see the altar and stuff.
Where was this estate located again?
Uh, well, now we call it Chopper Isle. It is off to the north. It's on the map. It is right here.
More and more interesting clues. Okay, I think I misunderstood you. Did you say these 25 deaths happened over 1 month or over several months?
Over 1 month.
That was all over 1 month as well.
Mhm.
Okay, I thought you said that they just ended a month before. I thought I misunderstood. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
both are true. It was about
Okay.
over the course of a month that the murders were happening, and then about a month after they ended was the fire.
Okay. Well then, so no real other good information about the fire then at the cathedral.
What other information would you like to know?
Well, let's see.
Did they find all of the bodies of all of the victims except for the daughter?
He
Yeah.
kind of scratches his beard for a minute. Well, yes, I suppose that is true. We just assumed that she had burned up in the fire. Do you think Nualia had something to do with this?
Maybe not something to do with it.
It just seems strange that. Sorry, TikTok. Go ahead.
I, you were completing my thought. It seems strange that her body be the only one not found.
Well, I mean, the old cathedral had the most damage. That's presumably where the fire started. So probably that would be where the hottest point of the fire were.
But it's assumed that that's where her father's body was found.
This is true as well. Yes.
I can't think of anything else. How about you, Zarxus? Any other questions that you
None
can
that
ask
this man could
can ask
actually
in a
answer.
civil manner?
No, this man can't help us. I think we should go and see for ourselves, and perhaps we can finally put some of these matters to rest and bring true justice to those victims. No offense, Sheriff.
He just narrows his eyes at you and gives you a dirty glare.
I'm working on becoming more apathetic, or he looks to Othniel. Empathetic?
Empathetic,
Right.
yes.
Yes, that one.
Not apathetic. You got enough problems with that as it is. All right, thank you, thank you, Sheriff. Have a good rest of the day.
Right, of course.
Thank you for your time. I know you must be busy.
Well, you all certainly have earned your a moment of time here and there.
We'll do our best not to bother you too much.
Please, it's no bother, really. For the
All right,
most
I
part,
guess.
for the most part, he kind of glances back at Xerxes.
It's mutual.
All right, I guess we do a little island hopping, huh?
I feel that that might be a logical place to look. I think maybe they're connected.
I'm thinking the same thing. I don't know what's scarier, the fact that we're thinking the same way or that what could be actually going on. It just doesn't make any usually if someone's going to be gathering bodies like that, they're using it like for necromancy and they're just needing extra parts or something like that from my studies, but
Well, he wasn't gathering the bodies. He was,
just killing them.
yeah, he was
Just
killing them,
gathering the
and
tongues.
yeah, he was taking their eyes and tongues.
Just, yeah.
That's all. There's nothing creepy about that.
Oh, nothing at all.
Sounds like the work of a witch.
The fact that he was able to complete his work is concerning.
I don't think it was his work.
He was doing something for someone or something. But eyes and tongues? That's I never read about anything like that at the temple. I assume
Hmm.
we're talking as we're walking, right?
Yeah, I don't think we're talking in front of the sheriff.
Yeah.
That man is of very little use. I fear his skill may rub off on us.
Well, we've got you here to make sure none of that ever happens. I'm pretty sure.
He just takes you at your word. Yes, that is true.
In my studies, in my study times at the temple, would I have heard anything linked to anything specifically that would be seeking eyes or tongues or both?
Mm, make a religion check.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to get at.
Mhm.
Is
Yeah, you can roll two if you like.
13.
gotta go back to that page. I have not a clue.
Okay.
I rolled a 3.
Yeah, Othniel, I mean, you don't know anything specific, but it would, I mean, for a creature to be pleased by the sacrifice of uh, human or other tongues and eyes, it would have to be some pretty thoroughly evil creature. Like, we're talking
Mhm.
about probably some kind of demonic entity.
Yeah. Okay, I guess we just keep on walking and thinking.
So you head past the old lighthouse that you had noticed here before. Um, hey, Hale is here.
I told you'd catch up to us. There can't be that many shiny things running around town to distract him.
Yeah, just as you exit the garrison and head off toward the north, you see Kale come running up. He's just been exploring the town.
Whoa.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me keep coming late. I swear I won't make a habit of it. Okay.
Remind me to cast haste on you before the next one. That way, we'll make sure you get here on time.
It's okay. I mean, I wouldn't be here at all if I hadn't been late. So
Yeah.
go that, I guess.
Yeah.
Better late than never.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So you head up to this. They refer to it as Chopper's Isle, but it's not truly an island. It's just sort of this outcropping of land. I'm trying to find a better description of this. Yeah, so it's a tidal island. So when the tide is high, you gather it would be an island. But when the tide is not, then you can get across the land to it. However, you kind of have to you have to kind of climb across these cliffs right in this area. It's not particularly easy. I mean, you can make it. You kind of pick your way across these broken stairs that were built into the cliff or the rocks and such that have sort of broken down since the chopper was dealt with. But yeah, you eventually make your way up to this estate. You head up some stairs into this rundown old building. What would you be looking for?
Well, I know. First thing I want to do is, how close are we to the actual entrance to the building?
You're at the top of the stairs, right in front of it, basically.
All right. I want to use divine sense.
Okay.
See if I can detect any good, or especially in this case, evil. Still here.
And what is the range on that?
60 feet.
Okay. Interesting. You are not detecting anything.
Okay. Good sign.
Yeah.
If it's abandoned, I see no need to knock on the door.
Oh yeah. Let's go in.
I think we can go ahead and proceed forward.
Okay. Yeah, I mean the door is just kind of hanging open. You pull it open. And you go in. So I don't have a great description of this building. I will say you do, as you search this place, you do come across the altar that was described by Sheriff Hemlock. There are some, seems to be very old stains there, but there's not really any depiction of what might have been worshipped at this altar.
Is there any definitive shape or carvings or runes or design to the altar at all that would make it stand out as far as who it was for?
I will say make an investigation check.
Can I
Well, I'd
also
have to-
investigate that?
Sure. You can
I'd like
each
to-
roll or one of you roll with advantage.
I'd like to
18.
search the floors and try to see if there's any kind of hidden stairs, hidden room.
Ooh.
It's an altar.
I got an 18 in that
Okay.
investigation.
Let me look something up here.
How about someone else rolls with advantage with Kale helping?
Well, not once you've already rolled.
I already rolled, and we're allowed to use regular dice tonight, so
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you guys can use regular dice now. Find something. Not expecting this to come up, but I will show you. If I can find this quickly, hang on a second. On. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get you a. I'll get you a description or a picture of what the symbol looks like, but you do see a TikTok. You would be the one to find this. You do see on the four corners of the altar, very subtly carved, you find some kind of a rune that you do not recognize. But it's the same rune in all four corners.
I think not recognizing it, she would probably have some sort of parchment and charcoal and just copy it down and
Okay.
then stow it away where she stowed away the little boy's bit.
Mm-hmm.
Was the altar more than 60 feet away from where we were when I did Divine Sense?
We'll say no. It was within that range.
Okay. And there's nothing on the altar, and nothing on the altar is giving me a ping.
Correct.
Okay. Did you say, I can't remember if you said, are there any like books or journals or
No, nothing like that at
things
this
here?
point. It seems like this place is pretty cleared out.
Mhm.
Actually, go ahead and you can make me. Yeah, actually, go ahead and make me religion checks. You might recognize this.
Okay. $11.
That's an 18 plus.
Another 18.
Nice.
D&D Beyond just flipped out on me. It's 2. So that would be a non-natural.
Yeah, 30, 20.
Dirty
Okay.
20.
This actually would appear to be a symbol a symbol of Lamashtu, who is in fact a demon queen. She's known as the mother of monsters.
Oh my.
Yeah, I think I would probably relay that information.
Well, shit.
Sounds like he was into some serious bad stuff.
I don't think he was doing it of his free will. I
Possible.
feel that he was
I don't
doing
know, bud.
this for somebody else.
Possibly.
People do fucked up shit all the time.
Whether it's for himself or someone else, it wasn't for anything good. It certainly wasn't for the Swallowtail Festival, that's for sure.
Pretty safe bet.
Yeah. Oh my.
Is this the only room, or are there rooms like?
No, I mean there
Other
are
floors?
definitely other rooms, but
Okay.
there's not a whole lot left of this building.
And
Okay.
if I was to check, would I find anything in the floor or underground, anything like that?
I don't think he really has. Did you roll an investigation check?
I did not.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and roll. Um, oh, 20.
20.
God, I
Uh,
wish that were me.
you do find um. Yeah, you find in another room there is a small compartment, and there are a number of what appear to be like whittled birds, like various sparrows, and very actually beautifully carved. um yeah, it seems that he had a stash of these very beautifully carved wooden birds.
I will take them. They might prove useful later.
Okay.
I'll show them to everyone.
Oh, pretty.
He had those things stored away? Hmm. Well, TikTok, I think your him working for someone else theory makes a little bit more credence now.
I don't understand why a man would do something for a god of monsters.
Well, either one of two things. One, he wanted something from them. Two, they he had s- they had helped him and he had to do payment or penance back. Or three, the stinking demon just took control of him.
Or perhaps someone he cared about.
Possibly. The fact that he was a recluse, as they say, may not have had must not have had any family or friends, or at least none that wanted to deal with him. You're alone long enough, you do strange things. It's not good.
Get some weird ideas.
Feel free to share with the rest of us.
I'm saying the guy had some weird ideas. I don't have any.
I'm sorry. Misunderstood you.
Well, it is interesting that it's awfully close to the burned down cathedral.
I don't think those ruins are actually the burned down cathedral. I think the cathedral was where the new cathedral is.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
they built it on the same spot.
they just
Oh,
built it
my
back.
bad. I thought it was the one on the west side.
No,
No.
that's the old lighthouse.
Well, never mind.
Hmm.
I mean, it's the same general end of town. It's not terribly far. But yeah.
How long would it take to get from one to the other?
From the cathedral to where you are now?
Yeah.
Getting up the stairs and things, probably a good 20-30 minutes.
Okay, that's not that bad.
Yeah.
By chance, on the investigation roll that we got, is there like tracks of like goblins and stuff over here? Traces that they might have been here or becoming here?
Based on your investigation roll, you do not see anything like that, no.
Are there any tracks here that look recent?
No, everything's pretty coated in dust and yeah, it doesn't seem like anybody's really been up here anytime recently.
Curiouser and curiouser, that's for sure.
We might have gotten all we can get from here.
That's
Yeah.
what it looks like. Go
What would
ahead.
the role be to use my prior experience to try and figure something out?
Try to figure what out.
If the sack, because I'm like assuming these stains are blood. I'm just gonna assume that. Would I be able to use my prior experience in human sacrifice to figure out if these were maybe live sacrifices or not? If I assume that's blood staining the floor.
You wouldn't know whether they were live or not.
No. Okay.
There wouldn't really be a way to know that. However, I mean, and you weren't there when the sheriff told the party about the rest of what went on here, but if you were to ask the party, they might have more information related to that.
Okay.
Basically, he was collecting the eyes and the tongues. And then they found him with his eyes and tongue missing as well, dead here. And they assumed that he sacrificed himself at the end of whatever he was doing.
Well, that's freaky.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me. There was 25 victims, plus him would make 26.
So that means 26 tongues and 52 eyes.
In 1 month's time.
The guy was nothing if
That
not
makes it all sound
prolific.
very significant. Hmm. Was there a pattern to the victims?
Not that
Nope.
they could detect.
Hmm.
All parts of town, men, women, children, didn't matter the age or the race.
Do any of those numbers have any significance? Like 26, 52?
No.
Well, 52 cards in a deck, 52 weeks in a year, 26. Let's see.
Hmm.
Do we know the number of victims there were in the fire?
He really didn't tell us.
He said. I think he said several.
He
Besides,
just said several.
Noalia and Father Tobin.
I'm not even going to ask a specific person this question because we're all a bunch of religious people for some reason. How is this demon lady described?
She is the. Okay, I'm trying to remember what he said exactly. I didn't write it
Demon
down.
Queen, Mother of Monsters.
Does she have a lot of eyes? Or a lot of tongues?
No, not particularly.
Okay.
I'd have to go check at the see if they have a library or check at the cathedral to see if they've got any books on the subject for research on that. It's not a creature I'm familiar with from my studies. TikTok is the one who identified the runes.
Could I make I don't know. What I want to do is see if I've, in my religious and arcana studies, know anything about this particular deity and their affiliation or possible affiliation with monsters.
Or goblins.
When you say monsters, you're talking about. You just want to know basically more about her.
Yeah, well, if there's like for goblins, for example, or other kind of creepy, dark creatures that might serve such a person.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and make a religion check. Uh, 19. Good. Uh. So. Let's scan this article quick and make sure it doesn't have any spoilers. Looks good. So I'm just gonna send you this article, and this is what you would know about her. And in fact, all of you will have access to this because you would all pretty much know, based on your previous checks and things, you would have it seems like you have a pretty decent knowledge about Lamash too. So if I can find the chat, I will put it in there in the Twitch chat so that they can see it too.
Nice. Share the knowledge.
There you go. Oh, that is not the right link. Hang on. Hang on. That would be a work link.
What is this?
Could be worse.
Hang on.
I had a very unique image of body styling. And if this doesn't load, I'm going to keep that image.
It's not going to load, actually. Because that's environment is down for the night. Thankfully.
Okay.
That's what happens when you copy a link on one computer and then try to paste it on the other. Doesn't work out too well.
I tried.
There we go.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So, in fact, yeah, the room that you found would have been basically the shape of this jackal head that that you see here. Obviously, not in full color and everything, because it's just carved into the stone of the altar.
Goblins are listed under the worshippers.
I see 3 eyes, so I feel like eyes are significant. And I'm not just saying that to make myself valid.
No. The fact that it's got 3 eyes.
What's that saying about clocks?
Thanks.
Wow.
Here every
Lenny's
Tuesday.
just full of shots. Everyone's taking it.
Xarxus is in one of those moods again. Or should I say he's always in one of those moods?
I do what I can.
Oh, God. Hey, did any of us check this place out for like hidden tunnels that go underground?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be anything like that.
Okay.
Not seeing anything here about eyes or tongue. Definitely not something I want to mess with right now.
Cool. This is fun.
Sorry, I was screenshotting that thing because I wasn't figuring out how to save it any other way. Since I do Twitch on my phone.
All right, I need to save this. Okay.
Well,
Interesting.
do we think we are done here? This place makes me feel.
Well,
I'm not
we've not
sure
been.
how it makes me feel, but I don't like the place.
It's definitely not a place I want to spend too much more time in. I don't. Doesn't look like there's anything else for us to find or uncover. Anyone else?
Yeah, I can't think of anything.
Xarxus?
I think we've seen all we can here.
All right. We head out.
All right, where to?
About what time of day is it?
Yeah.
It's gonna be late afternoon now. Probably about 3 o'clock or so.
I know what I'd like to do, but I want to make sure what everyone else is thinking first.
Well, let's hear your.
I was thinking about heading to the cathedral to see if I could find any more information on this Lamash too.
I'm down for that.
To see if
Maybe.
to see how familiar that is to anybody over there.
Oh, that
Maybe
is a
they
good
could tell
idea.
us more about this Jarvis dude.
Mm-hmm.
It is interesting that the cathedral has 3 domes. I don't think Xarxus would be able to see that because he's not that tall.
I mean, it has 3 sort of wings to it. We can tell that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I was thinking. What about everybody else? I'm open to anything.
Yeah. I like your idea because then if it, because Lamashto isn't like a common one, right?
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah. So if any of them even recognize her, then we can go like, ooh, what do you know?
Yeah, that works for me. My only other thing
Okay.
was checking out that lighthouse at some point.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, that would be fun.
Okay, so
All right.
to the cathedral first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can check out the lighthouse later.
Okay,
It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
that is a pretty safe bet. Yes. Um. Yeah. So. 1 second. Trying to find a particular something in here. Of course, in the 450 pages, it's not right at the tip of my fingers. All right. So I think that yeah, you head to the cathedral and you find Father Xantus is there, and he is yeah, I think that you find him in deep conversation. He is just sitting at a bench next to a woman that you don't recognize, and they're just in deep conversation.
Greetings, Father.
He kind of looks up from the bench, and he says, "Oh, yes, can I help you?"
Yeah, I just had a question for you. Do you have any materials, be they books or scrolls or whatever, on a deity by the name of Lamashtu?
Uh, his eyes widen at that, and he kind of turns to the woman that's sitting there, and he says, "Perhaps we should continue our conversation another time." And she kind of looks back and forth between the four of you and him, and yeah, she heads off. And he turns back to you and says, "What in the world is it that you want to know about Lamashtu?"
We've been doing some investigation on some stuff connected to the Goblin Raid, and it appears that it may or may have some pertinence to it. Is it a is it a being that you've got some knowledge or familiarity with?
He says, in my studies of in my clerical studies, I've come across the names of various demons and demon lords, and I've heard mention of Lamashtu. I can't say I know a lot about her.
Insight check.
Yeah, go ahead.
Based on how he reacted when I said the name.
Okay.
17.
17. He seemed to be pretty surprised. He did not seem. I mean, he clearly, as you could tell, he recognized the name, but it wasn't like you saw a look of longing in his eyes or anything like that.
Mhm.
He seems to be being straight with you.
Okay. Have you heard of any activity or things along the line that would show people that would be indicative of people that might be more than just vaguely interested in this foul creature?
He um he thinks and just kind of shakes his head. Can't imagine anybody in Sandpoint wanting anything to do with Lamashtu. That is
I mean, someone did.
Somebody did here about 5 years ago.
5 years ago. Who?
A hideous feller by the name of Jervis Stute.
Jervis Duke.
The chopper was
The chopper.
was a follower of Lamashtu.
We
Had some
don't know
sort of
that
had
he
some
was a
sort of
follower,
connection.
but there is an altar to her worship located on the island.
Did hear something about an altar in his place. I did not realize it was for Lamashtu. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, we find it very interesting.
Was he always alone on the island?
Well, I mean, not always. There was, uh, he was always a bit of an eccentric man. But in his earlier days, he was quite active in town. Come with me. And he takes you across the street from the cathedral to a building right over here.
Okay.
Um, 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 yeah, this is let's see what would the uh actually we'll say he goes down the street a little ways to he takes you to this jeweler jewelry store here. Um and there's um you know how sometimes you'll see like a building will have a plaque on like the foundation, like the cornerstone of the building,
Mhm.
right? He takes you to the equivalent of that for this building, and you see what appears to have once been um, a very gorgeously drawn figure. Probably it's kind of hard to tell, but it looks like it used to be a drawn figure of a bird, but it's been since scratched out. And he tells you, he says, um, in his earlier years, Jervis was quite well known for his drawings and artwork related to birds. And in fact, he would go around town and find various places where he said he could see birds within everything and would carve or um, draw until he found whatever bird he saw within stone or wood, and it became actually quite the symbol status symbol, wow, of to have a an art piece by Jervis Stute on your property. um it was a bragging point, and he would do this for people just for the pure art of it. Um, what happened to him later in life? I don't know. Something must have twisted the man and changed his sensibilities, because as far as anyone knew before that, he was a perfectly kind and gentle soul, if eccentric.
Curiouser and curiouser once again. Yeah, this is making even less sense.
It sure is.
I think this person may have been influenced.
Definitely was being influenced by something or someone. Or someone by something or something by someone.
How old was this man when all of this happened?
Uh, when he was I believe in his 60s or so when he died, but still in good shape. He had to be to go up and down those stairs to the estate all the time. Not to mention what he did to all those people.
Yeah, from what we heard, it was very strange.
I wonder if there is a connection between the victims and those that had birds on their property.
That's
Oh
a
shit.
good thought.
Do people still have the birds?
Hmm. Most people, if they had a bird, they want nothing more to do with it
Mhm.
since all the murders happened.
Was anyone from this house one of the victims?
Well, this is a jeweler store. No, I don't think anybody here died during the murders.
Excuse me.
Is Jarvis's stuff still in there?
Is what?
His stuff?
In
Uh,
where? What do you?
And like his house?
Well, that's where we just was.
We just were? Okay.
Yeah, there didn't seem to be much left there.
Okay, I missed that. I didn't realize
Was
the
he
mood. I was
was he buried in the cathedral cemetery?
He was not. No, he. Well, we hoped that we might prevent his spirit from coming back by um somebody's keyboard is really loud. Um and it specifically says what they did with his body. Ah. He says, "No, we hoped to avoid his any unholy return of his evil spirit, so we burned him on a pyre on the beach, and his ashes were blessed and then scattered."
Okay, that makes sense. Hmm.
so like he was pretty active in the community, right? I heard that right.
In his earlier years, yes. Toward the end, he became much more eccentric
Alright.
and miserly.
Did he have any connection to the old priest? Like, were they buddies at all?
Hmm. Father Tobin didn't really talk about him much. No, I don't think so.
Alright. Did Father Tobin have a bird?
I don't believe that he did.
Okay.
So did he just make a living by doing all these drawings on people's houses, or did he do other things as well?
Oh no, he refused to take payment for the drawing the uh art of the that he made from birds. Come to think of it, I don't know what he did for a living. Never heard anyone talk about him working.
Hmm. Every time I try to peel something away, it's just more onion.
I'm literally making a Pepe Sylvia board right now.
That's what happens when you're at the beginning of a super long module.
God,
Got
yes.
stacks and stacks of questions.
Mhm.
I'm already running out of space.
It's a good thing I got a lot of pages in this thing.
There you go.
All right. All right, Father, I can't think of anything else that I was wanting to ask.
Very,
Xerxes, you've been
very
kind of
well.
quiet.
Just processing this information.
Okay.
Xerxes respects priest.
At least he respects somebody.
Gotta at least be someone, right?
It's always good to know. TikTok, anything else?
No, I was just going through my already knowledge of Lamarsus YouTube, trying to figure out how birds might be connected.
Yeah, I was wondering that myself. I'll let you do something, get some research on.
Like maybe it was. And I'm losing everybody. Am I still here?
Yeah, I still see
Yeah.
you. I lost Hawkeye.
Oh,
That
hang on. I hit a wrong button.
I was just wondering if maybe a bird was a symbol to ward off this demon queen.
Alright.
Sorry about that. I accidentally closed rule 20.
Oh, no worries.
Okay. Wiki says no. Just glancing. I don't know if we're allowed to use that though.
Yeah, I would say that what's on that wiki page, I mean, without following a bunch of links and stuff, would represent what you all would have collectively put your minds together and remembered about Lamash too.
Okay. Because I just went and like I see that there's like a listing of her greatest enemies, so I just clicked real quick to see what their symbols were.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if we would have that information.
No.
No, okay. Then hell if I know.
Under appearance. Says forehead heavily pregnant with feathery wings like a raven's.
Oh, with feathered wing. Oh, and taloned feet like a vulture's.
Mm. But that doesn't. I take it. Does that look like the kind of birds that we saw in the stuff we found at his house?
I
Mm,
got one right here.
It does not really know. Birds that you found at the house were more like swallows and sparrows, more commonplace, like foresty type of. Well, I mean, I guess talon birds would be in the forest, but these would not be necessarily birds of prey.
I think that tells us the person had empathy at one point.
Yeah.
Probably wasn't always a serial killer.
Yep.
And then he went off the deep end.
Yeah. Something caused a change, but just what was it?
Was there a goblin attack near when the cathedral burned down?
You've not heard anything like that.
Sheriff didn't say anything about that. He said there was some weird incidences going on, but I think he was referring to all these murders as a whole. At least that's what it seemed like.
Hmm. Okay. I think short of kidnapping a goblin, I'm out of ideas.
If we kidnap it, I can talk to it.
Yeah. I mean, they worship Lamash too. I don't know.
It would be
Oh,
curious
okay.
if any of the goblins were wearing holy symbols.
Well, we looked over the bodies. Or Zarxus, was it you or Kale that went to check out some of the bodies to loot stuff?
It was me.
Gale went
And
and watched as they were collecting the bodies and taking them to be burned, but he didn't like inspect the bodies.
No, I
okay,
just got a lizard.
okay.
He was watching from hiding.
Yeah. Because for some reason, I thought they were going to do something weird with the bodies.
So no way we
mean-
would know that there'd be any kind of specific symbology on them or anything.
No.
Actually, we might be down the wrong track.
Oh?
Upon information that I recall, it says followers seek out deformities in themselves and others and perform scarring and mutilation on themselves and others.
Yeah, I'm like caught on the bit that says worshippers who displease her may give birth to a perfect child. And I'm looking at Nalia like, hey. Hey.
Well, the mutilation would definitely fall in with the eyes and the tongues.
Yeah.
Stranger and strange.
Well, perhaps when we go hunting tomorrow, we can make a detour on the way back and just
Mm-hmm.
see if there's anything in the woods.
Okay.
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
Kale can be our bird finder.
Oh, I would love to.
You see Kale's tail start to twitch.
Kale is so ready.
About what time of day is it now?
Still, yeah, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
A little later now, I guess. Since you went and talked to Father Xanta, it's more like 4.
Hmm.
So as you all are kind of standing in this open square here, which by the way is the same spot where you first started fighting goblins during the Swallowtail Festival. You see a man come walking through the square. He is. Let me find a picture of him for you. There he is. A dwarven gentleman. And he's just walking through the square heading toward the north, and he stops as he sees the 4 of you, and he kind of his eyes go wide. Oh my word. And he just starts running at you. What's your reaction? He's running toward the 4 of you from across this square.
Does he have any weapons on him?
Is he drawing any weapons?
He's not drawing any weapons. No.
Okay, I'm gonna also go, "Oh my god," and point at him.
Okay.
I'll be. Othniel is going to be standing in a ready position. He's not going to pull any weapons or anything, but he's going to be ready in a position where he can readily draw stuff out at a moment's notice if he has to.
Xarxis is a bit confused by this and looks to Othniel for guidance and mimics him. The smaller people are mysterious.
I think Tic Tac would cock your head kind of like a dog does when they're trying to figure out what's going on.
He runs across the square, stops just in front of the 4 of you, and just kind of, you must be the heroes of Sandpoint. Am I right? Am I right? Tell me I'm right. You must be.
Yes, totally. That is us.
We did help with fighting off some of the goblins, yeah.
That the 4 of you have just strung up dozens of those goblins, and you are fighters beyond reckoning.
Yes.
Yes.
We do our best.
I cannot believe I got. He goes to you, Kale, and puts out his hand to shake your hand.
Oh my god, I'm gonna break some fingers. I shake his hand. Let's do it.
Good grip, laddie. And he goes to each of you and wants to shake all of your hands.
Give him a good firm handshake back.
He says, "I cannot believe that I got to meet you all. I'm honored. My name is Volioker," and he kind of gives this very dwarven bow. With his beard like almost dragging on the ground. He says, "It's an honor to meet." Wait. You all must go down to the theater, and you should do a reenactment of the goblin fight. Sirdak would blow his would have his mind blown. It would be an amazing next play for the theater.
We got it.
Oh, I'm afraid we have serious business to do, sir.
Oh,
Do we?
Of course.
Do
but
we?
when you get an opportunity, you should do it. It would be amazing.
Have you spoken to the guard captain, the sheriff? I hear he has a lot of free time on his hands. He might as well be putting on plays.
At this point, I don't even bother trying to give him an elbow anymore. Mine's too sore from all the other shots I've had to give him.
He seems confused by that, but he says he just kind of goes on past it. He says, "You should go and talk to Sirdak. He would love to hear from you, and he would write you an epic play. I have no doubt in my mind."
I mean, he's got great material to work with here. Just look at us.
Look at you! What
I mean,
more
you
could
don't
he
even
ask
know.
for?
You don't even know about the story of the giant we slayed just days ago.
His jaw drops open.
No big deal, you know?
You killed a giant too.
We
Oh, yeah.
did.
Yeah, we ran into one of those little bitty giants along the way.
I stabbed its eye. Right out.
He grabs Kale like by the wrist and he says, "Come on, we have to go right now. Let's go talk to Sirdak. Please.
Hi, guys.
No, all of you, come, please."
Xarxus will pretend to go and then double back to the inn.
So you're splitting off from the rest of the party?
Yeah, he's got some more. I think he might have some political aspirations down in the future, but so he's laying the groundwork for that.
Okay.
I feel TikTok would follow out of curiosity.
Which way are they going to the theater?
Well, the theater would be.
I think I can guess which building the theater is. That's why
Yeah,
I was curious.
it's pretty clear. I will mark it for you. If I get to the right layer. Yeah, that's not the one. There it is.
Yeah, that's where I thought.
Yep. So from where you are, you'd probably come. Oh.
I think you're safe. We don't have to go.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, it doesn't look like we'll be going by a certain location, so I follow as well.
Yeah,
I follow as well.
Okay. All right. So, TikTok, you coming along?
Yeah, I think TikTok will follow out of pure curiosity.
Okay. Well, then next week we will pick up with you all getting dragged by Volioker to go and see Sirdak and talking about a play.
I'm so ready.
Fun times.
Indeed.
TikTok will do her best not to remind you all that you guys spent more time on the ground than she did during the giant fight.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
That's
Kale
fair.
has +4 in deception. He is not going to say anything that is true at all during this.
Yeah, and I mean, he just completely took it at your word when you said that you killed a giant. He was just like, "Oh, okay, that's a thing that happened." He
Mhm.
he was not even
Well, we
Doesn't mean
killed off all those
doubting it.
goblins, so why not?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we killed 50 goblins. Why not a giant?
There's not smart people here. I think I'm going to spend some time at the school and offer some lectures.
oh, Zarxus just retires from adventuring and becomes a professor.
And sheriff.
Teaching
Nice.
conversational draconian.
Well, from his
Uh,
standpoint, if you remove the emotion out of all the discussions, you get a lot more done. That's his whole good thing.
Fair enough. Oh, sorry, I'm just seeing the Discord chat now. I missed that. Okay.
Oh, well.
Too late. All right. So yeah, more questions piling up. Lots of things to try to connect and investigate.
Mm-hmm.
So we will pick up there next time.
Yes.
All right,
Thanks
well,
for the
thanks for
game.
running.
All
I'm
right.
glad everybody was actually able to make it tonight.
Yeah.
We did
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. All right. All right.
I don't have to get up for work tomorrow.
Well, thanks to everyone who stuck around in the chat. It was nice to see some activity there. And be sure to tune in on Sunday as well for another investigation heavy campaign. I don't know, maybe this is becoming my thing to run campaigns that are big on investigation and mystery.
Like, I'm so down for it.
All right, well,
I'll share
thanks
Puppy Silhouette a
everyone,
bit.
and we will see you later.